All right, welcome to a very good morning. Now I was here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. That's how we game. Like we've always been doing. I had the catch us say whether we are sad, he will come. Whether we are angry, he will come. A comedy, you better, you need every day. We bring you the most consistent update was on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Thank you very much for choosing us. Say, your first time at the Abahasi, thank you for coming here. Say, if you Wabaha Peng and stuff like that. I want to say thank you to you, Adi. Your supporting team that we keep on going to the levels where we keep on going. A successful time I wasn't Fiifi-Manfred LGBT. Subscribe to the channel if you're not. If you're not subscribed to the channel, turn on notification 10 and Michelle. Do choose all. Send it anytime be a content to drop Wahabiano. You are first to have it was on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. And again, Michelle Pa. So you investor so then we keep on going and then European under 21 games no air coso club world cups no some 0-0 low scoring goals because of the heat and especially matches no bono 7 p.m. no in the US around that time somewhere around 12 p.m. Yeah, so and then the heat is a little bit too much because they're in the summer and players need complaining. So I think that's affecting most of the games and it's not coming games. We have reduced the number of games that we are picking in the Club World Cup. We're focusing more on the European Under 19 Women Championship, European Under 21 Men Champions, Boys Championship, also Europe, and of course some specific games of Club World Cup in my account. And it didn't go well for us, but then like as you know, we don't go 2 days consistently without winning nothing. I had it once we start a day, we go bam. Then the next time, we are going on to go and win our holiday. And the code since I already in the description of the video below. Just go pick your up codes now. For Shemu or Betway code and give Betway app and give yourself a good chance of winning something. I'm now on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Send a BBR. Kama palm. And the amount no I enjoy analysis no BBR and then nicely and farmer. I'm really in common baby because in common is very important. Given how things have gone on, saying games near call and one saying so common is very important. Pass it, you made in common in our house and then more transfer news more. Then we'll talk about other things as well because for Manra, the teams have been playing. Chelsea prepare for most recent game at Baba Bono also as well. You made in common in terms of Chelsea game, no Baba Bono, subsequent games, no Baba Bono and stuff like that. We'll talk about all of that. I say on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Send a baby, come on. Let's go straight into it. Of course, still Barcelona are big on bringing in a branch friend one guys. In fact, and now around the Spotify company, you could see Barcelona are preparing almost the name of Tuja Senebeya. They can do the unveiling of a branch friend one Garcia, which is most likely going to go on today. Our Barcelona when your man in a brand friend one Garcia. And the last time I tried to explain to them, Barcelona can say, I mean, the importance of a goalkeeper in Europe and how goalkeepers are important these days now. You cannot understate it, and I say you cannot overstate it. Near goalkeeper be your man, boy goalkeeper be boy on the ball, off the ball. In fact, goalkeepers be man as sweepers and stuff like that. And it's very important. And when you have a goalkeeper or a sweeper or a ball playing or something shot stopping or signing it helps you the team play on the front foot. And like saying Hansi Flick person on the ball, he wants to play on the front foot and he needs a goalkeeper like that. Barcelona say in terms of shot stopping, Abante friend Marc-Andre ter Stegen has lost out on it on share and yet as good as people expected him to be in recent times. I say the form not perform. And Barcelona say maybe on project now I could draw. They're at a point where most likely in Chile they will start winning on budget trophies apart from the La Liga, maybe on budget champions the any other. So why would we sit down and then waste too much time when we can get a young goalkeeper here or on the front foot or a Spaniard or free Barcelona, of course, one ball with the local rivals in España or say saying Barcelona will want to do their things, that's it. Wait on and then let the opportunity slip us by. Barcelona said they are not going to go on and then do that. Our Spotify company. That is exactly what Barcelona for here to try and prepare the unveiling of our brand here friend Juan Garcia. Honor is getting ready for Juan Garcia, and we see how Juan Garcia unveiling Lamine Yamal details. You see, there is a young girl. I mean, in for times the girl and young, but then young a relative. There's a young model. I a friend of Spanish influencer, friend of Fati Vasquez. Lamine Yamal in the holidays, no. Marco share some side B, think somewhere around Ibiza, and more yet jet skiing in a girl on a shiny bikini. Come on, you can see the body, nice one. Lamine Yamal also enjoying himself. Lamine is spending his holidays with 30-year-old Spanish influencer Fati Vasquez. You see, matters of this nature, sometimes I don't want to say too much about it, to be very, very honest, because what if Lamine Yamal just likes older women? What would you do about it? Maybe that's his preference. Maybe or no, at 18, girls are more in the age. Maybe he feels like these girls will not even get they don't even get a time to go out of the home to go and spend their time with him. But I mean, a 30-year-old model and influencer there. I mean, the girl is definitely going to get time to come. I mean, all over Spain, people are talking about it. Another pic of Lamine Yamal spending time in holidays with a 30-year-old influencer out. I mean, I find it very funny, disgusting. Things like that now, maybe who I don't know. It looks like they're sparking a lot of buzz online. I mean, maybe it can be anything. It can be just because they're just spending time together. Maybe because Lamine Papa crowd or maybe Lamine Papa didn't call it. And I mean, they're just probably just spending time over there. But people are reading a lot of things into it. And Lamine Yamal on holidays. The girl actually came out to comment and said 30-year-old Fati Vasquez has disabled her Instagram comment after criticism. She's on vacation with 17-year-old Lamine Yamal. Of course, Charlie. Sometimes what these buddies also do to these boys, you just have to cut them some slack. The signing of Juan Garcia will be made official today. Once Juan Garcia says goodbye to Espanyol fans on social media, he will turn off replies, knowing he received a lot of abuse over the Barca have guaranteed Juan Garcia that he will be the club's starting goalkeeper. That is what Barca for catcher Brentford friend Juan Garcia said. Obey the starting goalkeeper until he shouldn't be worried. The presentation is going to go on for our Brentford friend Juan Garcia, and it's going to be an exciting one by now. And our preparations, also. And now from our Brentford friend Tots Costa, a periodista and as a journalist, I was Spain man, and then all Charlie. Madrid the phone were ready to pay Nico Williams release clause this summer, but the player rejected them, only to sign for Barcelona. That is what Tots Costa for Eka. But of course, the updates on Nico Williams, and they said Barca are going to renegotiate Robert Lewandowski contract. In fact, Barca financial engineering numbers will go through to sign Nico Williams. Crazy. Now that Barca have accepted, expect anything. Expect that they will go through a lot of really smart ways in terms of financial engineering to sign that ball. And might take a few of them. And now, when you have conversations, and some of the things that they are talking about is the fact that players like Lewandowski can renegotiate their contract. Barca plan right now is to focus on exit first. If Barca are able to do those 4 exits and renegotiate a couple of contracts, then you know that they will free up financial space to bring in a brand your friend Nico Williams. Luis Diaz wants to sign for Barcelona. He will have to force a move out of Liverpool. They demand 80 million. Barca do not have the 80 million. Deco still prefers Luis Diaz. Prefers Diaz as an option, but Juan Laporta is leaning towards Nico Williams' assistance now. Something that is seen to be very, very good in terms of Juan Laporta and in Deco conversation. Barca's transfer market so far income: Alex Vale, 6 million from Como, Jean-Claude Todibo, 8.5. West Ham, Clement Lenglet, 3. Ilya Moriba, 600k Celta. Alex Collado, 500k expenses. Juan Garcia, 250 that is something that is going on there in terms of how Barca for and there are lots of things that went on our FC Barcelona and their plan to get a brand here friend Nico Williams. I'm telling you, Barca will do a lot of financial engineering to make sure they will get the monies ready. A brand here friend even Ronald Araujo. Some people within the club are willing to sell Ronald Araujo. Deco has decided that the player will stay at the club and he won't let him go. But a lot of players may be on sale from now to the end of the season. The future of Araujo does not depend on Hansi Flick. The manager will accept any decision over the Andres Christensen is more likely to leave Barcelona than Ronald Araujo. But his departure won't be easy in the market. His market value has plummeted after a series of repeated injuries over there. But again, also, Obitse Andres Christensen is starting to fit it. Hansi Flick style of playing. By force. They want to go in and then sell Abantia, your friend Andres Christensen. He's a better fit for Hansi Flick's system than Ronald Araujo. Although Ronald Araujo is a better all-round defender, more physical, and sometimes ball players be say Kubasini, Inigo Martinez, that you need some physical specimens, Abantia and Ronald Araujo to do some of the defensive job for you. Of course, apart from Lamine Yamal, other Barca players are also convinced Nico Williams will join. Nico will fit perfectly at the club, of course, and now we're explaining to you Barca can do a lot of things. In fact, the squad depth is very important. Also, Rafinha can come inside as an inside number 10, as a 10 in the half space, and then push a branch for Nico Williams from outside. Rafinha will have a lot of free roaming ability to hold that play, receive on the half 10, be the outlet and stuff like that. Barca for know that they have a very, very good quality in a branch here for Rafinha. And Abrante for Nico Williams once the boy comes in. Bayern were aware of Nico's preference, which is Barcelona, and they already received a message. They said he wants to stay at FC Barcelona. He wants to do a deal with Barca for him. There won't be any issues between Nico Williams and Barcelona regarding contract. Everything has been agreed upon for some time now over there from Nico Williams and his contract. Just in Nico Williams to Barca is on track. The payment or the release clause is expected to be made in 2 to 3 weeks over there. Does Barca squad have enough depth for next season? A lot of people are talking about it. Why Barca are saying that they need even a lot more quality in terms of depth. They are pushing very, very hard to bring in Avantia, your friend Nico. In fact, in front of Sport, title they are 2 and they say Nico confidential. Nico the Barca forum have gone on and they've had that conversation extensively about how our brand friend Nico Williams is going to be leading the pack on the contract extension. They've done that confidential job. Nico is already Barcelona's first choice over Luis Diaz. The club appreciates Nico's efforts and they expect more from Diaz to force himself out of Liverpool. Over there, Charlie. They expect Abrante friend Luis Diaz will force himself out of Liverpool. This summer, Nico is demanding a lower salary compared to what he did last summer, according to Mundo Deportivo. Nico's release clause is 62 million in total. That is how much everything is going to be. Of course, with inflation, Barca admits that they can't sign Nico unless they offload players with big salaries. The big favorite star is Ter Stegen, but another option could be Ronald Araujo. New Barcelona admits that they have cash to pay for Nico's release clause, but financial fair play is still a problem. Right now, the move is impossible until the club can make some departures next week. Over the President Juan Laporta will not order the payment of Nico's release clause until the club can guarantee that they can register over there. So by the time that you see that happens, it means that they can happen. Nico option 1, in fact, according to Mundo, all they are saying is that and then Abrantia, your friend Nico Williams has jumped onto option 1 or Barca for listeners. So in terms of the list of players that you want for the wing, especially on the left wing, they said that now Abrantia friend Nico Williams is now Barcelona's option 1. Option 1, not option 2. At first, it was a second option to Luis Diaz. Now, Nico Williams is now the option 1 to team my friend FC Barcelona. Something that seems to be very, very good. The only issue is now about the financial feasibility. And then you say Barcelona, they can do that, but it's about financial fair play, whether they can play within the rules and the 1:1 at the La Liga level. And of course, if they can register the player as well, because tennis state China, you will not be able to register the player. Something that seems to be very, very important, and that's where Barcelona are working towards. They are working towards it. Of course, things are going to go on from there. We'll see how things are going to go on, the quality of play, how things are going to go on. We'll see how things are going to go on in terms of Barca Forum and everything that's been going on there. Of course, and right, having tabas, remember we can say having tabas, essentially, my Barca Forum and for music now go Nico any other. And then now Barcelona decides to file complaint against Javier Tebas for disclosing confidential financial data, which later reacted. The Spanish Administrative Court for Sports would force into this, they sanction him over there. That is what we are hearing. Of course, Javier Tebas, and now what he said was wrong. You can't just come out and then put a class financial statement, financial situation out like that. I mean, if you do that, you put a club in a difficult financial situation. And one of the things registering this too is another, and it's a big conversation for our Papa friend Javier Tebas on the things that he said. No, contrary to the earlier claims, and despite confusion by authors, Barcelona still under 1-1. Honestly, the goal to argue before the judge and then see how things are going to go. We'll see. Barca for conversation with Javier Tebas, the things that are going on there, and all of those things. Now, I'm on the part of team my friend FC Real Madrid, and then one more big game. But English Premier League fixtures are out. Chelsea first 5 fixtures are out. If we don't come on, we'll talk about it. Chelsea fans are still asking questions about target Malik Fofana, any Abentia. Your friend Malik Fofana, any Abentia, your friend Jamie Bino Gatons. We'll talk about them as well. But Real Madrid are preparing for a very, very, very big game. Hugely important game for them as they play and then against Al Ahly. It's going to be the first game for coach Simeone Inzaghi, and also the first game for coach Xabi Alonso. Franco Mastantuano and about game against Alaves. Not too exciting, and anybody that saw our Brent friend Franco Mastantuano told you that okay, Charlie, he was good. I mean, but it's a big stage and it's game 1. People have to take their time for our Brent friend Franco Mastantuano, Madrista. The fact that the boy didn't have an excellent game doesn't mean that he's not good enough. I think that yesterday he showed some glimmers of the quality now on that how he played on, and he was able to win duels. I think that was one thing about the game of Franco Mastantuano I liked about him. He wasn't too good, not too exciting. Maybe one shiny because so just average. But again, I like the fact that he was a dueller, winning, tries to be winning in duels, and because that is exactly what Madrid is about. Here, Madrid midfielder, you should be able to win duels, and then now Franco Mastantuano tried to be able to win duels. So team at your friend of River Plate, and they won. And now Simeone Inzaghi, Al Hilal coach, made him come up about Abrantia, your friend of Xabi Alonso, and the fact that he's going to be Madrid's manager. See, I followed Xabi's performance with Leverkusen, and I was very impressed with his style of play. He's a great coach and applies modern football tactics. He is an amazing guy. That is exactly what Simeone Inzaghi echoed about Abrantia, your friend of Xabi Alonso. Inzaghi, Al Hilal coach, I believe in the strength of my team. I want to do the great job against Real Madrid. We are here and we have full confidence in ourselves to play in the Club World Cup in a wonderful way. That's exactly what Simeone Inzaghi got to Charlie. Yes, it is Madrid. It's a top team. Madrid essentially one of the heavy favorites to go on and win the competition. But I know as a manager, he believes in his squad as well. He thinks that is a very, very good squad that can compete on any day, anywhere in the world, and then that he will go in and then give his squad the benefit of the doubt to be able to compete. He went on and says that perhaps Xabi Alonso and I are on the same boat as new coaches. I know his style of play from Leverkusen. Of course, what it means is that Xabi will know or no style of play from Inter Milan, and they will see if things are going to go on well over there for himself. And in 2022-2023, these two teams played Vini Jr. A ball game, of course. Abrantia, your friend Federico Valverde, Vini Jr. were very, very important on the day. And now, Madrid legend player, former Spanish international, of course, Abrantia friend Sergio Ramos, Eshego, Sergio scoring a classic Sergio Ramos header at the age 39 in the Club World Cup header. Bam! What they share for the Mexican side now on the mobile, but the game ended 1-1. And now, what came new, an update from Madrid camp, and he said Xabi Alonso is very close to Rodrigo. the coach doesn't leave the Brazilian side. He shows him a lot of love, and he always asks him how he's doing and pushes him really hard in training, to which Rodrigo is responding very well. Rodrigo feels incredibly motivated to perform at his best level for Xabi Alonso team. It looks as he said Rodrigo Goes wants to stay with team friend Real Madrid because the coach is making him feel very, very comfortable and he wants to be there. Now, Xabi Alonso was there or the pre-match press conference against Hilal. Now, I say the thing we are not allowed to lack is hunger to win, hunger to compete. Our pride, our responsibility is defending the logo, our team spirit. We have to play as a team. That is exactly what Xabi Alonso can on the Charlie. Everything that he's interested in is the hunger, is the ability to win duels, be aggressive, fight battles, and give yourself a chance at winning it. So that is what Xabi Alonso can want to say, Charlie. As a Madridista, and that's what he wants. Danny Ceballos said, I'm so excited. Climb on walls in a hotel. He's right. I'm really, really excited to get started over there. Mbappe playing as striker or winger on beside the child. So Mbappe is a dynamic attacker. He doesn't have a fixed position over the Xabi Alonso. I understood Vini as a player and as a person 10 seconds after our meeting. He has a huge heart, he's passionate, and he's incredible. We will use his talent in the best way possible to get the best for the club. And Xabi Alonso spoke extensively about everything that Madrid for and in the lead up to a game. How many team on friend Hilal for about it's a very, very good one par for them. Camavinga is present, the likes of Jude Bellingham, more Honum, Dean Hudson, more Honum, almost everybody. Alonso's coaching staff believes that Real Madrid, the team lacks speed. Xabi is also putting significant focus on intensity in training. I think that's also Xabi training now. Most of it is more about intensity and how they will be able to go and then push some more intensity more games. We'll see how things are going to pan out over there for FC Real Madrid when they play today against team. Of course, FC Real Madrid today when they play an important game, our Club World Cup game against Hilal. We'll see how things will pan out. But of course, we made him come out a lot of things because on the part of Chelsea Football Club, transfer conversation keeps on going on, and we start with a brand here, your friend Jimmy Bino Getsons and your brand here, your friend Malik Fofana. Manchester United for say they want to sell a brand here for Jadon Sancho because Chelsea Fono could not keep him, and that is why Chelsea Fono want a replacement on the wing. And the two main boys, one is Jimmy Bino Getsons and your brand here for Malik Fofana. The leading candidate obviously is Jimmy Bino Getsons, and player Chelsea Fono GD said Dortmund Fono were doing a little bit too much on Dortmund Fono were doing a little bit too much on to make sure say they'll get too much money from them. Now, according to them, their plan is to make sure that things going on well. Jimmy Getsons, I catcher, all of the clubs are man said he's going to Chelsea. In fact, the report is that Jimmy Getsons is not opening doors for other clubs as he maintains the agreement on 7-year deal with Chelsea. Discussions to club remain ongoing. Jimmy Getsons agreed 7-year deal with Chelsea, and why not again say he won't talk to any club. On the club beyond Casa, on one Chelsea near Juman, on Chelsea for now have agreed say we stay at Obeba Chelsea. No one be here Juman no Bobo because that is where he thinks that the success now in fact. And Chelsea for now have also started inquiries on a branch of friend Malik Fofana. Like a verbal conversation at Chelsea for Malik Fofana company have young someone say system not say how they can possibly do a deal for Malik Fofana boy not so bad. What are going to be his demands, the injury record to sing and stuff like that. Now, that is what Chelsea for in a branch here, your friend Malik Fofana as a backup to Chelsea Football Club. To a branch friend Jimmy Bino Getsons. We'll see how the deal of Getsons to Chelsea, is going to suffice. But the Chelsea phone really, really wants Getsons. They have moved in aggressively for a branch friend Jimmy Getsons to come in and make sure that things are going to go on. But still, Borussia Dortmund phone 8 demanded 65 million, including add-ons for Jimmy Getsons. So in the last part of the window, Chelsea phone added a little bit over 60 million and on the call for Brentford friend Jimmy Gittins. What we are hearing and is that they want 65 million, 65 million, and Borussia Dortmund for them. I say I'm open to see how things are going to go on. We will see how things are going to go with Brentford friend Jimmy Gittins. Another reason who said Jimmy Gittins a bit better than Malik Fofana, and he said because Fofana is a bit similar to Giovanni Quenda. Will likely join in 2026. While Gittins is different. Imagine having Fofana and Quenda in the same team. Both left footers, they use their right foot very comfortably, similar style, and best of pays, more creators than scorers. What we offer today is similar. Chelsea for wants wingers that score, not just creators. Jadon Sancho was a very good creative winger, but then he wasn't the kind of winger that will give you the goals consistently. What Chelsea want today is to be able to get the quality that comes into goals. When they're able to get some goals over there, we'll see how things are going to pan out from there. Now, the English Premier League fixtures now it's going to come out about in Chibia, and you're going to see where Chelsea are going to play, where Chelsea for the bomb games and stuff like that. I'm more preparing 2 days time. I'm back is a very, very difficult Flamingo. We'll see how things are going to go on. More key dates for the diary. Chelsea, everyone's favorite game, which is going to be listed about out. Chelsea favorite game. Chelsea will take on Spurs 1st November. Chelsea also face Arsenal in November at home on the 29th. No Boxing Day game. Aston Villa will be on the 27th. Newcastle away before Christmas on the 20th of December. Chelsea's first game on the 2026 will be Manchester City away. Charlie, that Newcastle away will be tough. Players always knackered during that period and we struggle. Massive test when you are going away to go and play in such games. We'll see. Premier League for Chelsea will face Crystal Palace on the opening day of the season. The FA Cup champions and Chelsea new this year. Charlie, only FA Cup champions and Akwakushia on the opening day of the season. It's not going to be easy, but that is exactly the game at Chelsea for the Kwakobo based on the fixture list now. About Chelsea will face Aston Villa Stamford Bridge on 27th, not on the 26th. No Boxing Day game. Chelsea will won on 26th. Chelsea first 5 league games next season, Premier League in 25-26 season at Crystal Palace, West Ham United, Fulham, Brentford, and Manchester United away. Tough games for and Chelsea have next season in terms of games. Never cost the Premier League fixtures now, and Enzo Maresca to make sure that he comes in and prepares very well to go in and go and play those matches now. The last 6 games of the 2025 season now, Manchester United home, Brighton and Hove Albion away, Forest home, Liverpool away, Tottenham Hotspur home, and a Sunderland away. Charlie, those are crazy. Manchester United home. If it's this Manchester United, Chelsea beat me and word was simple. Brighton and Hove Albion away. With the team that Chelsea are beginning to build now, I think that they stand a good chance against Brighton away from home. Forest home. Chelsea should be able to do the job. Liverpool away. Tough game at Anfield. Tough game. Tottenham Hotspur game at home. Again, is a game that you expect us to score, but then also very tricky. You can't take anything away from Tottenham Hotspur. Then Sunderland away from home. By this time, Sunderland may be in a relegation battle. It may be a tough game for our final game of the season. Chelsea should make sure they get the results that they are looking for. Yes, it's going to be a really tough game. Really tough game. We'll see how things are going to pan out from there in terms of how things are going to go on, the quality of play, how they are going to see how everybody wants to play. We'll see how things are going to pan out over there in full Premier League fixture weeks. Liverpool forced they are out almost all of the clubs on Premier League games. Premier League fixtures release is more important than normal this year. Chelsea will start the season still in quickly recovering from Club World Cup and will need time to build momentum. Home starts, win and winnable fixtures early on will be massively important in terms of the Premier League, fixtures now about who will play where, who will play who, how things are going to go. We'll see how things are going to go on, the quality of play and stuff like that. And of course, first five, clear. Messi should be Lamine Yamal, Crystal Palace, West Ham United, Fulham, Brentford, any team in front of Manchester United. These are the 3 teams that teams no these are the five teams that Chelsea and which are in the opening 5 games of the season. City opening 5 Wolverhampton Wanderers, Tottenham Hotspur, Brighton and Hove Albion, Manchester United and Arsenal. Wolverhampton Wanderers, Tottenham Hotspur, Brighton and Hove Albion, Manchester United and Arsenal. I mean, these are not small games. It means that the BS season now tough games and the eventual English Premier League. These are really quality games we'll see how things are going to go on from there in terms of the quality of how our players in the ball games, how the games are going to pan out. Chelsea versus Crystal Palace. Chelsea should be able to do their job over there. I think that Chelsea should be able to do their job. Oh, can you imagine? Breaking news: Arsenal for assistant manager, their friend Carlos Cuesta, arrives in Italy today in order to sign as new head coach for Parma. Is leaving Arsenal's coaching staff with green light arrived. 29-year-old manager will work in the Serie A. Here we go. Carlos Cuesta, the last time I was telling you, one of the youngest managers of Premier League, very young, 29 years. And Mikel Arteta assistant, one of the top tactical brains over there. And Christian Kivu moved from Parma to go and coach Inter. Parma needs a coach, and they are bringing a Brighton friend Carlos Cuesta. Wow, they are taking a huge gamble on a Brighton friend Carlos Cuesta, especially at that age. Arsenal for will play the opening home game of the season. Manchester United will be against team friend Arsenal. Opening day breaking. Man United will host Arsenal at Old Trafford in the first game of the season in the 2025-2026 season. Home opening day, but I'm not sure Chelsea will be playing against them. What we are hearing is Crystal Palace and at Chelsea and Indonesia to make sure things are going to go on from there. We'll see how things are going to go on in terms of the quality of play, how things are going to turn out from there. We'll see Chelsea will be able to get a job done there. Of course, these are the main fixtures. Arsenal, Man City, 20th of September. Man City, Arsenal, 18th April. Arsenal, Liverpool, 7th January. Liverpool, Arsenal, 30th August. The games will be interesting. It's very interesting. Very interesting. Man United, Arsenal, it will feel wow. First game of the season. Wow. You see how things are going to go, Charlie. Very interesting. But still, the Carlos Cuesta story is going on. Mikel Arteta, Cuesta had been linked with the Serie A side for several weeks and is expected to travel to Italy on Wednesday. If the deal is completed, he will replace Christian Kivu as Parma head coach over there, like I told you the last time, because they see him as a very smart manager. We'll see how things are going to go on in terms of the quality. Around here, friend Carlos Cuesta, Erico team to say, Parma or the talents here, and we'll see how things are going to pan out from there. But it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy, over there. We'll see how things are going to go on. And against players' private life, a 17-year-old, 30-year-old should not be vacationing together. This woman is literally closer to his dad's age, and she is to his. This is borderline grooming. Anyone who doesn't see a problem is very twisted. Charlie, leave the young man alone. Guys, see you. Bye-bye.